So hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Med School with Shubham. I am Shubham, a third professional MBBS student, and I shall be teaching you anatomy. I have started a series on embryology on my YouTube channel in which I have completed the first, second and third week of development and also completed the placenta formation and the foldings of the embryo. And today we will be learning about a very important concept, that is the pharyngeal arches. And you get various important questions from this topic, such as the development of the pharyngeal arches, pharyngeal pouch, pharyngeal cleft, and the most important question is the pharyngeal derivatives, the derivatives of these pharyngeal arches. So let's get started with today's lecture. Guys, a small request: if you have not watched my previous lectures, I request you please go on my YouTube channel and watch all the previous lectures of the general embryology, in which I have completed the entire general embryology. Only if you understand the completely general embryology, only after that you can understand the systemic embryology. So I request you please understand the concepts of general embryology and only then start with the systemic embryology. So let's get started with today's lecture. So today we will be learning about the pharyngeal arches. So what actually are the pharyngeal arches? So inside the developing embryo, as we saw in the previous lecture, this was the developing embryo, this was the ectoderm, this was the endoderm, and this middle thing is the mesoderm. This entire embryo is covered by this amniotic cavity, and within this embryo we had this secondary yolk sac. Okay, this was the vitellointestinal duct, which was the extension of the midgut, and this is the allantois, which is the extension of the hindgut, midgut and the hindgut. Okay, so now inside this developing embryo there are various mesodermal swellings that can be seen like this. Various mesodermal swellings can be seen inside the growing embryo. So those mesodermal swellings, what are pharyngeal arches? Pharyngeal arches are mesodermal swellings or mesodermal thickening Mesodermal swellings or mesodermal thickenings in the neck region. In the neck region, mesodermal swellings in the neck region, in this neck region, and appears to be in the form of a arch shape. Arch means C shape. This is an arch. So in the form of arch, those are called as pharyngeal arches. These pharyngeal arches appears on the day 21 of development. Day 21 of the development, these pharyngeal arches develop. Okay, so let's see some in the diagrammatic form. This is a diagram which I have made earlier before starting the lecture. So this was the growing embryo that we saw previously. Now you can see various mesodermal arches, and somewhat the structure of this embryo has now changed. This is the amniotic cavity that you can see. This is the amniotic cavity surrounding the embryo, and inside this you have this yolk sac. The yolk sac has now entirely gone inside the embryo, and this is the umbilical cord. Okay, this is the umbilical cord. So this is the first bulge or the first swelling or the first thickening that you can see. It is in the most cranial part of the embryo, and this is the swelling formed due to the developing brain. So it is a swelling of the developing brain. Then you have this depression, as you can see over here, this depression is called as stomodium. Let me name this. This depression is called as stomodium. Okay, now, and you can appreciate another swelling over here. This swelling is called as the pericardial bulge. Over here, pericardial bulge. Okay, now caudal to this stomodium and cranial to this pericardial bulge. Caudal to the stomodium means after the stomodium, and cranial to the pericardial bulge means before the pericardial bulge. You can see these swellings over here in a linear form. These swellings are in a form of arches. Means what? it will start from over here, it will go up to that side also in this way. It will start from here and it will go in that side. It will start from here, it will go up to that side. So these are in the form of arch. It will be in the if this is the growing embryo, it will start from here and it will go in this way. So you can see in the form of arch it is there, in the form of arch, in this way, in the form of arch. Okay, so these are also swellings, and these swellings are called as, now you see, this is the neck, this is the cranial region, means face region, and this is the heart region, means the chest region. So this is the face region, this is the chest region. So the middle in this, you can see the neck region. So the swellings inside this neck region, those are in the form of arches, those are called as, these swellings, those are called as pharyngeal arches. Pharyngeal arches. I hope this is very clear to you guys. This was the yolk sac that you can see, and these are the two extensions of the yolk sac. This was the foregut, this was the midgut, and this is the hindgut. So from the midgut you got this vitellointestinal duct, and from the hindgut you got this allantois. Okay, now what are the contents of the umbilical cord? This is the umbilical cord. Okay, so this is the umbilical cord. You can see the vitellointestinal duct, the allantois, two umbilical arteries and one umbilical vein. Two umbilical arteries and one umbilical vein. Okay, this blue color are the arteries and the red color is the vein. Keep this in mind. Why is it so? I will explain you in the fetal circulation topic. But till now you just remember that the blue color ones are fetal or the umbilical arteries, and these are the umbilical vein. Okay, so this was a rough information about that. So let's again draw the diagram of the pharyngeal arches. Now proper we will be drawing the diagram of the pharyngeal arches. Okay, let me reduce the size. Okay, now let's draw the diagram. Two, three, four. So this is one side. Okay. I assume that you have understood this. Okay. So this is a form of arch I have cut in from the middle, and as you can very well see this, that it is in the form of arch. Okay. Now inside this pharyngeal arch, in the, see, so this is the first, so total there are 6 pharyngeal arches. Pharyngeal arch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But later on, after during the development, the 5th pharyngeal arch degenerates and the remnant of the 5th pharyngeal arch is remaining. So initially there are 6 pharyngeal arches, but then only 5 remains. 5 pharyngeal arches remains. The 5th one degenerates. 5th degenerates. Okay. So this is the first pharyngeal arch, this is the second pharyngeal arch, this is the third, this is the fourth, and this one is the 6th pharyngeal arch, because the 5th pharyngeal arch has degenerated. Okay. Now one more important thing. Okay. These are, as you know, mesodermal thickening. So inside you will have this mesoderm. Similarly over here also. Okay, so let's start again. See, this is the first pharyngeal arch. This is the first, second, third, fourth and sixth pharyngeal arches. In this way, now you have the 5 pharyngeal arches. Initially you were having 6 pharyngeal arches. Now this pharyngeal arch, from externally it is covered by ectoderm. In the central you have the mesoderm, and internal side you have this endoderm. The ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. Externally you have the ectoderm, then you have the mesoderm, and then you have the endoderm. Okay. Now one more interesting thing, in the first pharyngeal arch, in the inner side also, in the internal side also, 3/3, if this is the complete pharyngeal arch, then in the inner side, more than half of the inner side is covered by ectoderm. As you can see here, I have not drawn this entire thing green. Instead, I have started the green color from here because the endoderm has been started from this point. It is not starting from this point. Though in the other pharyngeal arches, the entire inner side is endoderm. But in the first pharyngeal arch, the endoderm starts from this point only. So, in the first pharyngeal arch, in the inner side, more than half is covered by ectoderm and the rest remaining part is the endoderm. Okay. Remaining thing, one more thing, that this side, see, you can see small ingoing things inside this thing, that C shape inside this. Now these are called as pharyngeal clefts. Pharyngeal clefts. Okay, these are called as pharyngeal clefts. And in the inner side over here, is this. These inner side are called as pharyngeal. These are called as pharyngeal. These were pharyngeal clefts, so these are pharyngeal pouches. The outer ones are called as pharyngeal clefts. See, these are called as pharyngeal cleft and these are called as pharyngeal pouch. Okay. And in the middle you have the mesoderm. Now the pharyngeal cleft, the mesoderm and the pharyngeal pouch. Pharyngeal cleft, the mesoderm and the pharyngeal pouch means this entire thing over here. Okay, this entire thing over here, this is called as the pharyngeal membrane. Pharyngeal membrane. So what does pharyngeal membrane contains? Pharyngeal cleft plus mesoderm plus pharyngeal pouch. Pharyngeal cleft, mesoderm and the pharyngeal pouch. Okay. This thing is called as the pharyngeal membrane. One more important thing that I said, that the fifth pharyngeal arch degenerates and we have the remnant of the fifth pharyngeal arch over here. And this remnant of the fifth pharyngeal arch is called as the ultimobranchial body. The remnant of the fifth pharyngeal arch. The fifth pharyngeal arch degenerates, but there is a remnant of the fifth pharyngeal arch. It is called as the ultimobranchial body. Remnant of fifth pharyngeal arch. Okay. And this ultimobranchial body will be forming the parafollicular cells of the thyroid gland. Parafollicular cells. Parafollicular cells of the thyroid gland. Okay, so I hope this is very clear to you guys. This was about the pharyngeal arches. Let me revise everything once again. So what are pharyngeal arches? So pharyngeal arches are mesodermal thickenings or mesodermal swellings in the neck region, in the neck region in the form of an arch. So those are called as pharyngeal arches, and these pharyngeal arches appears on the day 21 of the development. Initially there are 6 pharyngeal arches, but during the course of development the 5th pharyngeal arch degenerates, and now there are only 5 pharyngeal arches. The 5th pharyngeal arch degenerates, so now we have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and the 6th pharyngeal arches. Now the pharyngeal arch is externally covered by ectoderm and internally it is covered by endoderm. In the middle of the ectoderm and endoderm we have the mesoderm. In the first pharyngeal arch, externally it is covered by ectoderm, but internally more than half part is covered by ectoderm, and only some part of the first pharyngeal arch is covered by the endoderm. So you can see over here, I will draw over here. So this part entirely is the ectoderm, this part, okay. This is the ectoderm, and only this part that you can see, remaining part, it is the endoderm. Okay, then you have this outer one, this depression that you can see over here. This depression on the outer side, those are called as the pharyngeal cleft, and those on the inner side, these one, those are called as the pharyngeal pouches. And the pharyngeal cleft, the mesoderm and the pharyngeal pouch together are called as the pharyngeal membrane. Okay, now you have another important thing. Now these arches are seen inside the neck region. So if I have to draw here, this is my neck region, so the arches will be starting from here, the first arch, second arch, third arch. In this way they will be forming. Now what happens? Now as actually it starts from above to the neck region, means first arch, second arch, third arch, fourth arch, in this way. But now if we see, our neck is completely smooth. Is it in the form of arches that you have the first band or the second band or third band? No, it's not like that. It's completely smooth. So why is it completely smooth? During the development we had this arches over there. But over the development what happens? This is the second pharyngeal arch. So the ectoderm of the second pharyngeal arch, it comes out in this way and it goes over down in this way. Okay, one more thing I will tell. Let me tell you one thing. Here you have this is the neck region. Okay, so below to the neck region you will be having the chest region, and I said in the chest region you have the pericardial bulge. So here somewhere is the pericardial bulge. So now what happens? From the second pharyngeal arch, an outgrowth will come, or the second pharyngeal arch will grow outward, and it will cover all the pharyngeal arches, and it will go and fuse with the pericardial bulge in this way, in both the sides. I mean in all the sides it will come over length. The second pharyngeal arch, it will go downward, and then it will cover all the pharyngeal arch within itself. Okay, therefore in the neck region it is entirely smooth, and this outgrowth that you can see over here of the second pharyngeal arch, this outgrowth is called as the cervical sinus. I will draw that. In this way it will grow. Wait, I'll draw it on a new page. So now what will happen? The second pharyngeal arch, it will grow over here outward in this way, and it will go and fuse with the here you will be having the pericardial bulge, and it will go and it will ultimately fuse with the pericardial bulge, forming the neck in a smooth manner. And now this is called as the and now this is called as the cervical sinus. Cervical sinus. Okay, this was one very important thing. So guys, that's it for today. So we will be I'll stop the lecture over here. I hope the development and the components of the pharyngeal arches were very clear to you. In the next lecture we will be learning about the derivatives of the pharyngeal arch. That lecture will not be so big. It will be very easy lecture. If you have understood these all topics, that the derivatives of the pharyngeal arches will be very easy. In that we just have to know what artery, what nerve and what cartilage and what bone will be coming from that pharyngeal arch. We just have to learn that thing. I'll be explaining about this table in my next lecture, and that's it. I hope this is very clear to you guys. So please stay with me in the entire journey of embryology. I hope you're understanding everything. Please like my video, share my video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much guys.